Hello once again, and welcome to the second part of the product keynote. In my earlier section, we reviewed our product strategy and progress made over the last year. We also described how Guidewire Cloud provides the foundation for new product innovation. Last year, we focused on policy innovation and released Advanced Product Designer, or APD, to change the way new insurance products are defined. Now we are focusing our innovation effort around claims servicing, and specifically claims automation. ClaimCenter has supported straight-through processing for basic claims type like glass repair for some time now. But we have spent a lot of time thinking and working to make things even better, so we can automate a wider variety of claims, even those that are very complex. That's why today we're very pleased to introduce Autopilot. Autopilot is a cloud-based claims service that works with ClaimCenter to automate claims handling. And as Max said in his earlier keynote, there may be no bigger opportunity for improving customer experience and decreasing cost than automating claims in insurance. If last year was about innovating to bring insurance product to market faster, then this year our focus is on settling claims faster. And that's Autopilot. But before we get into this new capability today, how did we get here? How did we make great product even better? Well, we talked to many of our customers and had multiple brainstorming sessions. A common theme was take automation to the next level. Tryg, one of our largest insurance companies covering the Nordic region, is a perfect example. They had a lot of experience customizing ClaimCenter to enable claims automation, but they wanted to do more to reduce claim servicing costs and meet the high expectation of their customer. Let's listen to Tryg requirement for automated claims handling and their impression of the Guidewire approach.
One of our biggest challenges is how do we go from our old legacy worlds to deliver what the customer expects of digitization and automation.
In terms of claims handling, it needs to be super fast, but it's also about efficiency and also keeping claim costs down. The way we have been thinking for quite some time is that automation is the rule and manual handling is the exception. And this is, of course, the way that Guidewire Autopilot has been built. We run everything automatically, unless there is an exception where we need a human being. It's really exciting to see the direction that Guidewire is heading in.
The message from Tryg is clear. Automate claims by default and do manual handling by exception. And that's exactly our strategy at Guidewire. Flip today's claims model that is mostly manual with the goal of automating as much as you can. To illustrate this, if you envision claims handling as a simple rail line like this one, there are a number of stops along the way with each one representing a manual step. While it can automate some of it, ClaimCenter was optimized to deal with those manual steps. Now, with Autopilot, we're introducing a new rail line that can automate the end-to-end claims process. When ClaimCenter is used with Autopilot, all incoming claims are handled by Autopilot first. Then Autopilot decides whether a claim can be processed automatically or handed off to ClaimCenter. From there, claims can be processed manually, and when possible, returned to Autopilot to be finished. Or, if a claim starts in Autopilot but fails specific automation criteria or needs additional information, it can continue in ClaimCenter. The claims adjuster can complete the manual task all the way to claim close. Now, let's get into some of the details. Joining me to take a closer look at Autopilot is Ray Chrysler, our CTO. Welcome, Ray.
Thanks, Diego.
So, Ray, what have our customer told you about the objective they expected to achieve with claims automation?
Well, the feedback from customers has been very consistent. They wanted to deliver better claims experience to policyholders, provide faster and easier claims settlement, reduce loss adjustment expenses, and handle a wide variety of claim types. And lastly, integrate more easily with InsurTech services, like fraud detection.
And are we tackling all of those with Autopilot?
Well, we're still working on it, but we're super excited about the progress we've made so far.
OK, great. So how would you describe Autopilot?
I'd simply describe it as a cloud-based claims automation service built to allow insurers to follow an automation-first approach.
Sounds simple, but I assume there are many elements to enable Autopilot.
Indeed, there are many moving parts.
Let's use the simplified flow diagram to put all the pieces in context. Everything starts with the claim intake designer that allow you to define a progressive series of questions.
Yes, we use it to generate the claims intake experience. Then there's the Autopilot cloud service, which combines AI, analytics, and workflow. This is the engine that drives automated claims processing. Also shown here is ClaimCenter, which serves as the core system of record for claims.
And let's not forget that across the entire process, we continuously stream data to the cloud data platform and build the Autopilot analytics dashboard on top of that, providing a unified view of all claim processing. Ray, I'm sure this is still a simplified view, and there is much more under the hood.
Yes, there are a few other cloud-based services that work in conjunction with Autopilot, such as the Cloud Rules service that we introduced last year in combination with PolicyCenter. It's now used to control claims automation logic.
I think it's time to see this in action.
Absolutely. Let's begin with a short demo showing how we set up Autopilot. First, we log in and land on the Guidewire Cloud launch page, where you can access all Guidewire applications and tools based on your role. One of the tiles you see is for performing claims configuration activities, including setting up Autopilot. Select what line of business you want to activate for handling by Autopilot. What I really want to focus on is our new claims intake designer that allows business users like digital claims analysts to define the claims intake experience. This new editor allows you to visually define a progressive set of questions that change based on the response received to previous questions.
So a business analyst can define a new set of questions from scratch?
Yes, or select them from a library of questions shown here in the left pane.
Are we defining the entire claim intake using metadata in Jutro?
Yes, everything's defined by Jutro and metadata. Claims Intake Designer lets you preview the defined claims intake experience. And because the UI is fully responsive, you can see how it would appear on any device.
So, to summarize, Claim Intake Designer enables you to quickly define the UI to capture all the information needed to create the claim and build a payload for the Autopilot service, correct?
That's right, Diego.
So, once the claim experience is defined, we are ready to push it to the Claim Autopilot.
Absolutely.
Great. Are we ready for the live demo?
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, everyone. I'm sure this is what you've been waiting for. Make sure you have your mobile phone handy. And now we're back live from our homes in front of our computer. And as you can see, wearing our glass now, I guess perks of getting wiser. Ray, are you also here?
Yeah, Diego, I'm here online with you.
Okay, let's dive into it. Ray, walk us through the demo setup.
Sure, Diego. First, we set up Autopilot with a very simple personal auto process. So it's easy to submit a claim quickly. We pre-selected the policy for your claim. We're only showing a short list of questions. We've included a photo upload component in the claim experience with several pre-selected claims to choose from. And we've turned off ClaimCenter safeguards for claim duplication.
Obviously, we created a flow optimized for live interaction purpose, and we're not really trying to mimic a real claim submission flow. To help you out to understand what will happen next, let me bring back the diagram we showed you earlier. Ray, you got your phone ready?
I have it right here.
Okay, cool. Once we kick off the demo, the claim will be pushed to the Autopilot. Some of you will immediately be offered a cash settlement, or you will have an option to repair the damage. But this is not the experience for everyone, correct, Ray?
That's right, Diego. Depending on how the participants answer the questions, some of them will have their claims handed off to ClaimCenter for manual processing and will receive a message. An adjuster will be in touch.
Once the claim submissions start, we will be monitoring progress in the Autopilot dashboard. This is all made possible by the cloud data platform, which allow us to embed analytics across the entire life cycle, or analytics everywhere, as mentioned earlier. From here, we will be able to track all the claims being submitted by everyone participating to the live demo. As you can see here, we put through a few claims ahead of time, but once the demo starts, all claims and graph will start to light up in real time. Okay, Ray, how do we get this started?
Yeah, so now we need everybody to do one of two things. Open the camera app on your phone, use it to scan the QR code you see on the screen right there. Or if you don't have your phone handy, you can open up a browser window and navigate to go.cloud.guidewire.net. Let me go through it one more time, just to make sure everybody gets a chance to kind of experience this for themselves. So you can open up the camera app on your phone, point it to the QR code you see on the screen. It's shown there in the animation on the side, and that will take you into the demo. Or in your browser, you can go to go.cloud.guidewire.net. Both of these will launch a special Autopilot demo app, and it will allow you to quickly submit a new claim to Autopilot. If you haven't done this already, please do it now.
Once you launch the app, everyone will land here at the claim experience and start answering questions, progressing all the way to submit their claim. Now, let's switch back to the Autopilot dashboard and see what's going on. The data start to coming in. Total number of claims submitted and submission rate over time are on the upper left corner. Percentage of tasks handled by Autopilot versus manually is in the upper right. Visualization of claims, where those claims are in the life cycle, is in the bottom center.
Looks great. We have a little under 2,000 registered participants online right now, and depending on participation levels, we might see up to around 2,000 claims.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Yeah, I mean, just like last year, either we're successful or we learned something.
What you see in the dashboard is the analytical real-time view on the Autopilot path versus manual track line showed earlier in the presentation. I want to underline the real-time aspect when Insurance Suite is coupled with CDP or Cloud Data Platform. As you can see, some of the claims are fully handled by Autopilot, while others are pushed for manual handling to an adjuster. Ray, can we look in ClaimCenter to see how Autopilot integrate and how a manual adjuster can handle those manual tasks?
Diego, remember, Autopilot will create the claims in ClaimCenter and help manage the other aspects of the claim lifecycle. So let's take a look at what an adjuster would see in ClaimCenter. First, I'll log into ClaimCenter as an adjuster. I can see the activities that got assigned to me by Autopilot. Let's drill into the first activity in the list. Once I open that activity detail, I can see that this claim was routed for manual handling by Autopilot. This was because the loss occurred while the car was being driven for business purposes. To resolve this, the adjuster needs to contact the claimant and gather some more details. Once I've learned this was for rideshare and validate the insurer is covered for this particular circumstances, I can confirm the coverage and then send the claim back to Autopilot. Returning to the History tab on that same claim, I now see that Autopilot takes over and finishes the job. First, it offers a settlement. Once the settlement's been accepted, then it's completing the payment. And then finally, Autopilot will close out the claim as indicated by the icons in the upper left.
That's great, Ray. Autopilot is really fully integrated with ClaimCenter.
Yeah, so claims can be pushed to ClaimCenter, then back out to Autopilot, or vice versa, just like we saw in the Railline demos earlier.
Perfect. So what about the rideshare issue described earlier? Can we enhance the intake process to capture the rideshare extra question?
Yeah, let's bring up the Claims Intake Designer to make that change. To do that, let's navigate into the intake flows, select Personal Auto Physical Damage. Here you see the question flow for the simple personal auto intake process we used for the demo just now. Now we want to drop in an additional question to specifically ask whether the vehicle is being used for rideshare purposes. So we'll quickly add that question. We'll configure it to require a true or false response. And then we'll place it in the flow and connect it up to everything. We'll route the true answer to one part of the flow, and we'll route the false answer to a different part of the flow. Back to you, Diego.
So once we save the revised flow, we can use the built-in preview function to see what change looks like. Here we go. We click preview. Here we can quickly fill the form. And now once we get to the driving for business purpose question and answer no, the was anyone hurt question will display, just like before. But if we go back and answer yes, then the new rideshare question is displayed. If we will decide to deploy this change, all the new incoming claims will have this new experience.
Yeah, that's exactly what we mean when we say dynamic intake. And this is how we can use Autopilot to continuously improve the claims automation process.
So for the record, we're not pushing this change into production right now. So just in case you are trying to run the flow again. So now let's bring back our dashboard. And actually, as you can see here, we're not bringing back our CDP dashboard, but we're bringing Google Analytics dashboard. Hey, Ray, walk us through this.
Sure. So just like standard web analytics and any other web app, we have fully integrated our Google Analytics, just one of the many web analytics solutions, to track all those claim intakes. So you can see here, the map's lit up with a lot of different countries. We have a lot of different traffic that came in on this live session that we're in right now. And you can see that traffic's coming from different countries of the world. We see there US, Europe, and that's the actual traffic that came in just moments ago. And you see the distribution.
Great. So if we go back to our CDP dashboard, let's take a final look. So as we said, we had 2,000 registered participants, and as of now, around 1,000 did participate. As you can see, the split between the manual to Autopilot is around 30% on the manual, while 67% went to Autopilot. And on the bottom part, you can see all of those that were pushed to the manual for further processing versus the number of closed claims that went all the way through that as of now are 392, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so everyone, to recap what we showed you today. We did show you Claims Intake Designer that allow you to define a progressive series of questions to fully describe the claim.
Then we showed how this comes together in the claims experience for the end user.
Then we highlighted Autopilot itself, which provides the automation engine for claims.
And we showed how Autopilot is fully integrated with ClaimCenter to create the optimal balance between automated and manual claims handling.
Finally, we showed a claim analytics dashboard to provide visibility into claims automatically processed by Autopilot. And that's all of it, Ray. Thanks a bunch.
This was fun, Diego.
But actually, wait, before we go, what should we do next year? What do you think, Ray?
Well, Connections 2019 was policy, and we released APD in 2020. This year, it was claims automation, claims and Autopilot, which we'll release in 2021. I'm not sure about 2022.
How about this? Next year, we have the opportunity to extend Autopilot engine in other areas of Insurance Suite.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Tell me more about it.
I'm afraid you need to wait for next year.
Okay. Hopefully next year we'll be in person.
Indeed. Thanks for watching, everyone, and enjoy the rest of Connection. Finally, time for coffee. Hey, Ray, can you pass me the cup?
Yeah, I got your Banff cups right here. I'll hand it to you.
Thank you. Here we go.